Cathie Wood does it again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We have a very interesting tweet that was posted on March 14th, 2023, so 5 days ago, that got almost 2 million views. And frankly, this kind of blows my mind at the level of stupidity that this woman engages in. So let's read what interesting thoughts that Cathie Wood had to say.
While the U.S. banking system was seizing up in response to bank runs threatening regional banks,
Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other crypto networks didn't skip a beat. Instability in the banking system threatens stablecoins, the on-ramp to DeFi, in stark contrast to regulator rhetoric. So if I'm understanding this correctly, it almost sounds like Cathie Wood is saying that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of these other scammy cryptos are the stable part of the total financial system. But the U.S. banking system, which has been around for hundreds of years, basically ever since our country's founding, and that has been improved upon and made better over time, is apparently the true threat. The banking system, as a matter of fact, is screwing over crypto, not the other way around. Well, I have some thoughts about that, Cathie Wood. First of all, cryptocurrency is the most volatile trash I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, U.S. banks do and have gone under. It happens. No system is perfect. Everybody wants to live in this perfect utopian world where there's never any bad decisions made and there never has to be government intervention or bailouts or any of that. Well, that's not the world we live in, okay? People are people. People do stupid stuff. And sometimes people have to be bailed out to serve a greater cause, like preventing the total collapse of the U.S. financial system. And I can tell you that doing away with the traditional banks, which we've had for hundreds of years, and replacing it with a decentralized clownish token like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin is one of the most ridiculous things that I have ever seen in my entire life. Because at least with the U.S. banking system, there's these things called regulations, okay? We've experienced bank panics in the past. We've learned from these panics, and we've developed systems to ensure that we don't wipe out our entire banking system and our entire financial system and have another Great Depression. We've developed ways to do that. For example, we have the Federal Reserve, which is the lender of last resort. If the entire banking system is under stress and they need liquidity, the Federal Reserve is there to step in to provide that liquidity so we don't lose every single frickin' bank, okay? Now, in contrast, Cathie Wood thinks that if we just, I'm assuming she thinks this, that if we had Bitcoin and Ethereum and they're all decentralized, that we would have absolutely no panics and issues whatsoever. We would never have a collapse, and everything would always just work out perfectly. And there would never need to be government intervention. And if you stop the adoption of Bitcoin, Ethereum as the main way of medium of exchange, you must be a legacy U.S. banking-loving douchebag. Now, let's talk about the stability of Bitcoin, okay? So, if you go to Robinhood or wherever, and you type in Bitcoin, and go back 5 years, and I want you to see how insanely volatile this quote-unquote currency is, okay? Imagine if you got paid in Bitcoin down here. You got paid for services, compensation. You got paid in Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden the value massively skyrocketed. Well, you made off really good now, didn't you? But what if you got paid up here? What if you got paid up here? What would happen to the value of your compensation right before a massive collapse in the price of Bitcoin? Oh, it would get absolutely wrecked. There is absolutely zero stability in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. And may I remind you that there are a ton of crypto bankruptcies that have taken place. These are just a few that I Googled that show crypto platforms that turn out to be either massive scams like FTX or were engaging in massive degenerate practices that have since collapsed. FTX, Three Arrows Capital, BlockFi, Core Scientific, Voyager Digital, Celsius, all of these crypto brokers collapsed just like every other bank. These are worse because they're unregulated and there's no central authority to bail them out. And the funny thing is, everybody that wants these decentralized crypto networks, obviously they're wrong because everything seems to trend towards centralization. look at all the crypto brokers out there. Are we becoming more decentralized or less decentralized with cryptocurrency? I don't know. And then we have these stupid stable coins that every once in a while collapse and basically go down to zero, okay? So you want to talk about stability? Are you freaking serious? You cannot listen to these people. These people are basically like libertarian ultramaniacs. They really believe in this like utopian world where there's no government and everything works out perfectly, and we just let the free market reign supreme, and there needs to be no government or central bank intervention in companies or the market or in people's lives. We can all be happy if we just buy Bitcoin, and we'll all be infinitely wealthy. When in reality, it's the exact opposite. Cryptocurrency, I guarantee you, is one of the most wealth-draining, resource-destroying, life-ending investments that most people can make, okay? I guarantee you, if you play around with crypto long enough, you will lose all your money because you can win it big. You can buy some crypto and it goes up 1,000%. And then you do it again and you buy another crypto that then goes down 100%. Guess where you end up at? Zero. That's right. And all your old gains mean absolutely nothing at all. So don't listen to this massive freaking clown, okay? This whole thing is a joke. And the last thing I want to talk about is everybody's like, oh, the dollar always declines in value. You lose purchasing power every single year. And that's true. But look at this nice straight line, okay? We can basically, with assurance, kind of know the value of the dollar over time. We know it trends down at a certain rate, okay? Now, recently we've had higher inflation. That's why the Federal Reserve's raising interest rates so we get inflation back to where we want it, around 2%. And that's a good thing, okay? Because at least you can have a general idea of the value of your currency, and you can use that when you make your investment decisions. If you're denominating things in Bitcoin, how could you even do that? Oh, I want you to pay me back in X amount of Bitcoin. I want you to pay me Bitcoin interest, and then I want you to pay me back the principal in 10 years. Imagine like pricing a debt instrument in Bitcoin. Like, there'd be no way because it's so volatile. You can't do it. At least with the dollar, it's like, okay, I know there's roughly 2% inflation per year, so we need to have an interest rate that beats inflation and blah blah. And it's a lot easier to do. Okay, this is at least predictable and consistent. Whereas this is an absolute clown show joke that is basically worth nothing, okay? So that's kind of my thoughts. Cathie Wood, once again, proves she's a massive clown, and she can't stop, okay? Because she's built her whole success, her whole livelihood on just pumping the biggest trash possibly imaginable. And it's worked out for her. I wish I could get rich by pumping trash, but I guess I chose a different route in life. That's my thoughts. Talk to you later. Cheers!